Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Talk Therapy here on From the Ground Up Productions. I am Lady Miz. Today, I'm going to be discussing how you can navigate your old relationships with your new self. Growth is painful. Change is painful. But there's nothing more painful than being stuck somewhere where you do not belong.
From the Ground Up Productions presents Talk Therapy with Lady Miz. She is here to listen and give advice, but brace yourself. If you can't handle the truth, because she's not sugarcoating a thing. She's getting to the root of the problem and addressing the ugly truth. You're now tuned in to Talk Therapy with Lady Miz.
Today I'm going to be discussing why evolving into a better version of yourself can create tension when you're dealing with people who only know the old you. There are always going to be struggles when you are dealing with people who only understand who you used to be. Some of the struggles can be basically being around people they have expectations of you acting a certain way, doing things that you used to do but you no longer do anymore. Your interests can change. So there's so many different factors here when you are dealing with people who can only see you in the eyes of who you used to be. So there's a few things that I'm going to be discussing here today. First of all, how should you be acting when you are put in a situation where you are surrounded by people who only know the old you? How can you stay true to yourself without being pulled back into your old habits, your old ways? Why is it important to set boundaries with people from your past? My mindset is different. The way that I act is different. The way that I think is different. The way that I eat is different. The way that I take care of my body, mind, and soul is different. So there's so many ways that you can evolve, where you can grow, where you can just become, again, the best version of yourself. Here are some common signs that you have evolved. Well, first of all, like I said before, your views are different. Your interest is different. The things that you like is different. Your values are different. Your goals are different. How do you know that you actually have grown? For me, I know that I've grown and evolved because, again, there's things that I used to do and like that I no longer like. For example, hanging out in the club. It used to be fun, right? But I can't see myself in a club bunched up with a lot of people, sweating, drinks are spilling, people smoking hookahs, girls is twerking, everybody's wilding out. There's a bouncer at the door because they think somebody's coming in with a gun. I mean, listen, I'm just telling you, for me, it's not my type of atmosphere. I would prefer to be in a more calmer, elegant setting, a rooftop. It can be a bar there, maybe a restaurant bar with nice, mellow, soft music. Or even if it's turn up music, it's not turned up to the point where it's ratchetness. I'm just telling you, for me, when we talk about evolving, that is how I feel I evolve. Things that I listen to, things that I watch, books that I might be interested in. I realized that I started evolving when I started reading Susie Orman books, right? I was always into finances and credit, but reading her books that my mom bought me took me to a whole nother level. Then I started getting into other things and wanting to learn about stocks and bonds and other stuff. When you are around people who do not respect, understand, or can't see your growth because it is not transparent, you can feel isolated. They are actually not aware that you have become somebody different. Different doesn't mean I think I'm better than you. It means that I've changed from who I was and I'm a better person than I was yesterday. How are we going to manage old relationships with the new mindset that we have? Some people from your past might struggle to see your growth on so many different levels. Now, let's be honest here. There's just some people who would prefer to see you struggling, to see you in a jam, to see you have problems because maybe they live that way. They want to have somebody that they can relate to. They don't want to be around those who might make them feel like they're beneath them or not good enough, which is most of the time in somebody's own head. Because when you show a different version of yourself and they haven't changed, now they feel uncomfortable in your presence. So you got to be aware and pay attention to your atmosphere and your surroundings in your circle. They may feel that they do not have anything in common with you. They might feel that you outgrew them. So most of the time they deflect Or they'll say things like, you think you're better because you did this or you have that. It has nothing to do with being better. But the truth of the matter is, if we really want to get technical, you are better. You're not better than them. Again, I'm going to say it again and not to be repetitive. You're better than who you were yesterday. You got people who have expectations of who you used to be. If you're the type of person that used to drink a lot or hang out a lot, they're going to have the expectations that when you guys get together, that's what you're going to do. When you're around them, they're going to be expecting the old you. A misconception that people have is that when you change, you automatically think, I'm better than you. Most people are not even thinking on that level. Most people want to bring the people with them, but a lot of people will reject it because they are comfortable where they are. They're not looking for change. And you have to be careful with who you put yourself around, because they can drag you right back into them old ways. How do you handle people who don't respect your change? You remove yourself from that atmosphere, because if they don't respect your change, then chances are they're going to continue to do things to try to pull you up out of who you are becoming and who you are now. Protecting your peace is everything. You have to set emotional and physical boundaries. What is the best way you can deal with people who will trigger old behaviors? So I'll say this to people who have had addictions, right? I know people who have had addictions, whether it's drugs, it could be alcohol, okay? It can even be eating certain things, right? Shopping. Those are addictions. Let's talk about those who have addictions all across the board. If you hung out with someone who, if you're broke, and you hanging out with somebody who constantly likes shopping, spending $500-$600 on the table, popping bottles, okay? And you know they ain't got no darn money, and you know they broke, or you know they're in debt, and you know they can't afford to live, right? They asking people to help them with the things that they need so that they could buy what they want. You putting yourself around them, they're going to trigger old habits, because if you was a shopper and you in these stores and you going back and forth, it's going to be a little tempting. So you can't put yourself around that atmosphere. Somebody who drinks a lot, if you know that you was going to AA meetings and you're struggling with alcoholism, don't go to places where drinking is the center of everything, because have a drink, take a shot, let's toast. All these things are going to happen, and then you're going to feel what? Left out. You're going to feel like you're missing out. Maybe you're suffering from FOMO, the fear of missing out. I don't know. What you have to do is make sure that if you know that something is going to bring out the worst in you or trigger things that you grew from, you have to remove yourself away from those people and that atmosphere. But if you're going to be around them and you know that being around them in their space makes you become someone that is not you anymore, then why don't you create a space and invite them into that space? Now they have to adjust to you. Well, how do you set boundaries with people that you love and care about? Because sometimes a person that you love and care about is used to you being a certain way, just like everybody else. Meaning they might be used to you doing everything for them because you love them, right? So now when you say no, they think that you're saying something wrong. They might think you got an attitude. What's wrong with you? You always say yes. Or when I call you, you always run and jump and always there. But if you don't set those boundaries, then you know what it might make you, or it might bring out in you that you evolve from? A people pleaser, not knowing how to put yourself first, and not knowing how to not pour from an empty cup. All of those things. If you was a people pleaser, you have to set boundaries with people that you love too, and tell them, I'm not doing that. When I am pouring from an empty cup, I have resentment later on. This resentment that I have later on is because I'm probably tired, overwhelmed, and now that I'm tired and overwhelmed and did not get to do anything that I wanted to do for myself because I was so busy doing everything for you, I'm now mad. And when I'm mad, now everything goes downhill. I got an attitude, and now I look like I'm the problem. It's a domino effect. You might have some family members who are toxic. Know your toxic family members. Is everything a fight for them? Because Some people don't know how to communicate well. Some people, because they had to be defensive all their life and maybe protective of themselves all their life, they develop this characteristics where all they want to do and all they know how to do is resolve their conflicts by fighting. They don't understand communication. They don't understand effective communication and respect. So they go to fighting. Know who your toxic family members are. And do not force people to deal with them when you know they are no good. See, I don't care what title somebody else got. It don't matter, because if I could say I'm not dealing with my own family members, you better believe I could say I ain't gonna deal with yours, okay? I'm not putting up with toxic people at all. And it doesn't matter what anybody thinks, because at the end of the day, it's my job to protect me. You could be direct and kind at the same time. Soft words and hard arguments. You need to know when to distance yourself when it is necessary. If you know that someone only brings out the bad in you, then you have to know when you need to remove yourself or stay away from a certain group of people, individual or family, if you know that they only bring out the worst in you. If you know that every time you go around them, it's always drama, somebody always talking about somebody, or they're always talking about somebody, you got to stay away from them. If you are trying to grow and evolve and to be in a peaceful place, you can't get peace there. You will never find peace in a place where you know you was not supposed to be in the first place. You have to stay consistent to what your new standards are. So don't let nobody come in derailing you off track. Stay consistent. Don't be like, I don't do this one day, and then the next day you do it, and the next day you don't. Because then all they have to do is find out where your weakness is at when you decide that you're going to do it. They are going to test you. So make sure at the end of the day that you stay consistent with who you are, the new you. And now, a word from our sponsors. Check out the latest single from Mama There Goes That Band featuring Dazan, Rep, and Lady Miz, which is now streaming on all major platforms. Get ready for The Imperfect Marriage, a new segment with husband and wife, Lady Miz and Ray, on From the Ground Up Productions. We're going to be sharing real insights on what we believe marriage is all about. New episodes is coming soon, so stay tuned so you do not miss out. Here's the thing. People are going to hold on to those negative views about you. They always try to bring you back. They'll talk. You did this. You could be way past that old stuff. But there's always somebody lurking in the background, all right, that is there to try to remind you of who you used to be. That's okay. Let them stay there. They could be stuck there. But you move on. Don't let them derail you where now you feel you need to defend yourself. Trust me, you don't have nothing to prove to anybody but yourself. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't tell them who you are, what you like, or the new you, and not just telling them, but showing them, right? Because people, when you change, there's always somebody waiting. Oh, wait. I thought you said this. Oh, wait, there's always somebody waiting for the flaw, for the mess up, for the inconsistent. Because believe me, they're ready to attack and let you know, because they always want to show you ain't perfect. Get to know the new me, because who you knew back then, that is not who I am. I know people, when I'm around them, I can see that, that how they act, how they look. Some people, I could tell that I get that look up and down, or they don't feel comfortable to discuss certain things with me because they're looking at me on a different level than how I used to be. Some people were so used to seeing me down, seeing me up, they can't even come around me because it makes them sick to their stomach, because the whole time I was down, they were putting me down. They were laughing, they were talking about me, and they were talking about me to other people. So now when you see me up, coming around me, when you continue to put that narrative out there about me, was never the person that you try to portray me as. but I probably had some stuff going on that I wasn't perfect. I was trying to get through some stuff, right? Trying to find myself. But people always seem to shine the light on your imperfections because they are insecure about who they are. Most of the time, these people can't talk to you or come around you in your space because it's a reflection of what they are not. And they don't want to bring other people around because if they bring the people around you that they hang out with, or that's a part of their family, right? And the people will see you differently. Now they look like a liar. Now people will question their judgment. So in order for them to maintain the narrative that they put out there, they will not come to see you on your winning seasons. And that's okay because they're not the people that belong in your circle. Because if they don't want to see you winning and doing great, then that means that they never really gave a damn about you in the first place. And they only like to see you when you was down so they could talk about you. This is why it's important to surround yourself with people who are positive, good, give off good energy. Their spirit is good. You gotta listen to your body when it's telling you something don't feel right. Your body don't never lie. The spirit don't lie. The vibes don't lie. Pay attention. Listen to it. Your body sometimes knows things before you even know it. You might be thinking one thing. Your body like, nah, this ain't right. I'm not feeling, nope, I'm not feeling that. Get out of here. This person feel this way. They don't like you. They jealous of you. They hateful. They envious. Listen to it all because the spirit don't lie. One of the biggest things that I realized that people need to do is learn how to forgive themselves for the past mistakes that they have done. Forgive yourself and stop worrying about what other people think. If you don't know how to forgive yourself for the things that you've done in the past, you're going to fester in it. You're going to be upset with yourself. You're going to be mad with yourself. How do you deal with anger, anxiety, pain, and hurt and confusion? How do you deal with that? If dealing with it is drinking, smoking, hanging out, partying, having sex, listen, people deal with things in a lot of different ways. So trust me, all of those are up there, spending money, shopping, eating. How do you deal with those things? And sometimes you might even fall off track. It might happen. Don't beat yourself up about it. Just get back on track. I fell off track. I was working out. I had a trainer. I lost weight. I was feeling good. I learned how to exercise. And then when I was doing things around the house, I totally didn't go to the gym. It was a domino effect. When I didn't go to the gym, I didn't get up. I didn't feel healthy. I laid around. I was eating anything that I want. I mean, it was just like I derailed. And what I could have done and say, let me go back and spend more money and do this. Or I could have said, let me go to the doctor because I've done it before. Let me go to the doctor and have the doctor hook me up because I ain't got time to be doing that extra. No. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to look in the mirror every day. First of all, I'm going to love me. Second of all, I'm going to save my money. Third of all, I am going to let me see my imperfections and stand in that mirror and tell myself, if you want something so bad, then you need to change it. Here's a reminder of why you need to be better. Because for me, change worked for me when things were here, right in my face, and I didn't like what I seen. And I'm like, nah, I've got to be, and I will be better. You have to give people the opportunity to learn the new you, though, if you want to be around them. Then you can see if y'all really vibe like that. Are we on the same level? Because I'm going to be honest, you got to put yourself around people that you can learn from. Take responsibility for the things that you have done in the past, but do not be a prisoner to your mistakes. Be transparent with yourself. A lot of people lie to themselves about who they are. No matter what you do, let your actions speak for itself more than your words, because you could tell people all day that you have grown, but if you don't show them how you have grown, then they're not going to believe you. Your growth is your personal journey, and not everybody is meant to come on that ride with you. They're not meant to come on that ride with you. That's why certain things happen the way that they happen. So don't be mad when something happened to you, because it could have been happening for you. You got to trust God. There's a reason that this is happening. It's meant to show me something. It's meant for me to learn something. It's meant for me to learn someone. Who am I around? There's always situations that are there to teach you something. What's important here is that you have to be proud of your growth. But you also have to maintain those boundaries when you are dealing with people who do not understand the new you. Focus on who you are now, not who you used to be. If people want to reflect on that, look, go ahead. You go ahead. I didn't pass that chapter in the book. I'm over that. I remember, I'll give you a story before I get out of here. I was taking this class at this gym, and we had to come up with a name for ourselves at the end of this class. And everybody had these big names like a tiger, a bear. They wanted to be strong and big and this and that, right? Powerful. And which is great. I'm not knocking that. But you'll be surprised. I came up with the name Butterfly. No tiger, no bear, no nothing. For me, that was okay and that was important. I was okay with that. And let me explain why. I don't need to be the big bad person in your neighborhood. Big shout out to Run DMC. But I do not need to be that person because that is not who I am. The butterfly represented me. Why? Because it was still something that I seen as precious, that was beautiful, that we value, something that transformed into something else. It used to be a caterpillar. Now it's a butterfly. I seen the transformation. I did not need to be better than someone else, stronger than someone else. I just needed to see growth within myself. So remember, the only validation that you need for your growth is your own. Listen, guys, that's it for today. This is Talk Therapy with Lady Miz. And if you like what you heard, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. I'll see you on the next episode.
We hope you enjoyed your time with Lady Miz on Talk Therapy. We'll see you next time. Be sure to add our channel to your Roku list and listen to us on all streaming platforms.